black aggro, chat. We've got 2 power 1-drops, a Knight of the Ebon Legion that we can dump some mana into here. We've got some discard spells. We've got some removal. We've got a recursive threat in Skyclave Shade. We got a little bit more removal / threat here. We've got some top-end flying creatures to be done with, and we've got 8 creature lands. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it feels. I'm gonna lead on Inquisition here, just in case they have like a Land War Elves I want to take before their first turn. I missed 1 point of damage doing this, but the upside of taking a good 1-drop has value. Yeah. Sentinel's another reason to lead on the discard spell here. Take their lieutenant here. I guess if I take Thalia, I would be able to play Spawn of Mayhem if I drew a land. It's fine, we didn't. Yeah, now we just need some lands. Ebon Death versus Spawn of Mayhem. Yeah, Spawn of Mayhem's much better. I know there's a 4 printed in Spawn of Mayhem's corner of its card here, but Spawn of Mayhem's actually a 3-drop because you're going to be dealing damage a lot of the time. It also has Trample and effectively attacks for 5 per turn. We're not really interested in playing more 4s. I think 4 Rankle is plenty of top end. Maybe Ebon Death could be okay out of the sideboard if we wanted another grindy card, but I'm not really sure that we do want another grindy card. Our deck's playing 24 lands, by the way, which is pretty reasonable for a deck that curves out at 4. Well, they're having the inverse problem at least, so we got that going for us. The confidence with which Twitch chat suggests that we have to be playing bad cards will never cease to amaze me. At least it happens slightly less frequently here than in other places. It's also pretty peak Twitch chat as I sit here stuck on 2 lands, so suggest a 4-drop that's not particularly playable. 5-drop? It's 5. Tiergard's 5 mana, right? It's not even a 4-drop? They had a layer of the Hydra for the person that's asking me why I didn't attack. What better way to break the meta open than taking a good established deck and making it 4 cards worse with my favorite pet card? That's basically what this stream was for a long time. When we had $10 deck submissions, I'd estimate half or more of the deck submissions we got were people just taking meta decks and making them 4 to 5 cards worse. So, for the record, I think playing decks that are off the beaten path and maybe not top tier is really fun and interesting, and they're neat to optimize. That being said, there's a difference between a deck that's not tier 1 and a deck that is tier 1, but we cut 4 to 8 cards out of it to insert worse cards than are usually played. If that makes sense. We took enough $50 Delver submissions that I no longer accept Delver submissions. So, yes, I think is the answer to your question. Yeah, the arena economy is very punishing to people who want to brew. It is not brew friendly in the slightest. Unfortunately, it looks like our opponent has finally drawn enough spells and we have not drawn lands. This game's gonna be over. We're just playing Historic today. I let chat vote on what they wanted to see, and they voted for more Historic instead of Standard. So. Just fine. We did two Standard decks yesterday. Meathook Massacre sounds great. Thoughtseize are definitely out. Inquisition's probably out. I want some Rotting Regisaur here. I feel like I probably do. Let's try this. Nah, I imagine this deck will be good enough that we'll play it for an hour or so. The Hoaglandia Open format will be announced on Friday. As of right now, with 384 votes cast, Standard is up by over a percentage point, which is actually the largest lead either format has had since voting opened. Full spoiler happens Friday-ish, I think. We'll do a set review on Monday on this channel. Can't block, because I could pump, get to trigger Spectacle, and play Spawn. This game should hopefully be a lot different than the last one, since we have 4 lands in 4 turns. like dominoes, shit. We're gonna fall over like dominoes here. Tumbling down. I'm gonna put a stop on my upkeep here, so this way I can cast Heartless Act in response to my Rotting Regisaur, making me discard a card. Hey, Izzy, thank you for the 25 months. I appreciate the over 2 years. Welcome back. Heartless Axe, actually. Hella awkward into Aspirant here, huh? Can't kill Sigarda. I think we just chill here, right? Because next turn they'll have to chump block Spawn with Sigarda or they die. Because this will put them to 7 and it'll be a 7/7. Oh, they can force a trade here. Oh, geez, and they get... Huh. Yikes. Friction Obliterator is unplayable? Yeah, I don't know about unplayable, I just don't know that it's very good. You could play Obliterator in the Rotting Regisaur slot. If you wanted to. And now I have to block here because otherwise the Spawn trigger kills me. Good play from the opponent here. Oh my god. Holy crap. Speaking of playing Standard. I threw 2 of these in the sideboard because it seemed kind of sweet. Honestly, it could be right to play more of this card. It seems nutso. I disagree with your assessment there, Simon. Even in a matchup like this where they had Aspirant, they're still going to have a lot of good targets for Heartless Act. I think Heartless Act is fine. I can't play that many Infernal Grasp because I will die. We just play these out. Definitely on the back foot here on the draw on the aggro mirror. Being on the play is busted, champ. Alright, hopefully they missed their land drop again and can't remove this. Spawn into spawn should be the breathing room that we need to punch forward here. Hey, we lost game one because we stumbled. Just gonna chill, because if they draw their third land and have a removal spell, I don't want them to exile my spawn and then hit me. Why not run out Knight there? Because I'd like to cast Murderous Rider potentially. It actually just doesn't matter is the answer. They're not killing both of my spawns, and I'm just holding a removal spell up. I guess they could have a Deck in Stone, theoretically, here. And honestly, if they Deck in Stone, I'd rather Murderous Rider something this turn and then cast the Rider next turn, right? Yeah, Sans Deck in Stone, they were just in there. See, the bot there plugging our sponsor in chat, NordVPN. Don't let your internet connection turn into a Spawn of Mayhem chat. Secure it with a VPN. Make sure you're nice and private. Check out nordvpn.com/Jeff Hoagland to learn more. I like the Saheeli avatar. The artwork on this card and Planeswalker is really good. Lots of different rainbow colors. Comcast has monopoly of internet connection, so it's been a spawn from the get-go. Yikes. I do not use a VPN while streaming because even though Nord's pretty quick, more jumps you add can occasionally impact things if you're using it constantly. But I do use it for localized streaming stuff on occasion. Things like Netflix and Hulu and others have different catalogs if you're in different countries because of how their contracts with things work out. Where this deck's food matchup is. I guess this could be 5-color Niv too. Yes, 5-color Niv. Double Heartless Act is not a great keep against 5-color Niv. Deal. You only get to take my bad card. Second Rankle is not bad here. Creature lands, also decent pickups. Maybe they'll play a Kavu out and we'll get something to Heartless Act. So, be a matchup where our extra discard spells come in. We have some Duresses and some Go Blanks in the sideboard. This is where the magic happens, champ. Right here on your screen. We're actually not in that terrible of a spot, I guess, because they've, like, Thoughtseize twice and shocked. They're down to 12 already. I've got these other things. Like, even if they, like, go, like, land Niv here, it's, like, not that big of a deal. And if they go land Sweeper, I get to, like, recast Skyclave Shade and bring Dread Wanderer back, most likely. Yeah, for people that don't keep up on the metagame, Viper, the suite of discard spells is very normal in the Niv deck. Wow, they're on just Stone Cold Nothing here, huh? We can keep up with Stone Cold Nothing. Big fan.
Right on schedule.
So, Lightning Helix saves them?
You know what? I'm not.
Now they can have Sweeper plus spot removal spell for the Hive. It's a shame we don't have a Faceless Haven, because Faceless Haven dodges Vanishing Verse. Yes, the opponent is almost assuredly playing 5-color Niv. We haven't seen a Niv yet, but would be surprised if they don't have it. The new bit badges look so much better than the old ones. I liked our old crowns, but the rings and gems didn't really look that great. They look good next to the sub badges now.
Keep up the pace.
We play around Helix. I don't think we can kill them if they have a second Helix here, right? They're like Helix the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, block 1. So 20 months, Jack. Welcome back. Okay, that was not bad considering how awkward our start was. Definitely a Duress plus go blank matchup. We're gonna cut the Heartless Act and the Infernal Grasp, I think. We want to leave in the Riders for killing Kavus. This video, is that the right link? Yeah, this video is the top 5 sets to buy into for Historic. It's still relevant. Still accurate. No, you're fine, Izzy. That's why we have commands. What's my trim here? If we cut a couple of Rankles at the top, I guess Rankle's nice at killing their Kavu. Maybe I don't want Murderous Rider and we just want Rankle. We have discard spells to tag their creatures with 2. We have 4 Thoughtseize and 3 Inquisition. Now, we're not really interested in killing their Teferi. We just would rather kill them, Seraph. We're the beatdown here. Sign me up. Assuming they don't play a discard spell on us on turn 1, we are going to Inquisition them on our first turn because I want to take a Kavu before they can play it. Their deck's actually not that consistent at having discard spells on 1. Usually they play them on 2. They don't have that many untapped blocks on 1. A lot of them are these duels. Are there any spells in Magic more tilting than discard spells, chat? Is there anything in Magic the Gathering more tilting than casting a discard spell? I'm not sure that there is. Okay. Top of their deck has been hot. Hey, Rankle's the best draw in our deck. Not anymore. Brutal. Not really a whole lot we could do this game. Well, it was the best draw in our deck. This isn't their hand. This is their command zone. We need this to be a brick. God, what a tilting fucking game. Just actually just the stone cold nuts at every possible opportunity. Oh God, that was awful. What if we board these in? These attack through. I don't have removal in my deck because they don't actually have that many creatures. Yeah, it was a brick that they took it through our window. I think we played this out so that way we can Spawn of Mayhem next turn. This is the part where they top deck Vanishing Verse. Alright, one good hit deserves another. Let the mayhem hit the board. Let the mayhem hit the board. Let the mayhem hit the board! Who's in the go blink? Show me Vanishing Verse. Snowland? My body is not prepared for them to top deck the Watery Grave next turn, chat. I can't do it. Emotionally, I am not ready for the Watery Grave top deck hero from an emotional perspective. They bricked! Holy crap, chat! An actual, factual brick. Alright, I guess they get a redraw next turn, but the redraw doesn't matter, right? Because the spawn's gonna put them to 1. Sometimes lucky, chat. Nailed it. Professional magician. Yeah, this deck, like, disappeared from the format. I feel like it's one of the ones that doesn't get enough play in proportional to how reasonable it is. This archetype has a lot of good tools. Yeah, it's just one of those decks that, like, there was nothing shiny and new, so people kind of forgot about it. Depending how this matchup feels, we might want a third Meathook in the board. We got 2 of those. Could definitely see playing more being better. Easy, no blocks. And then my knight gets to get bigger here. Yeah, this deck isn't an all-in linear aggro deck. This is a interactive aggressive deck. You're trading off the explosiveness for the ability to have good removal spells and disruption like discard spells. This gives them a chance to have a land here if they were going to miss, but I think I definitely want to do this before the Thalia happens. supposed to attack with Knight there. Ooh, power word kill's an okay shout. I can see power word kill worth testing. I don't think I want to play all Infernal Grasp because the life loss is real, but like, yeah, power word kill seems like it lines up into a lot of the format okay. I guess power word kill Mrs. Mayhem Devil would be a knock against it. That'd be like the big, like, kind of format staple that it misses, right? Oh, it misses Niv and Korvald too, yeah. Heartless Act is only okay against Korvald, to be fair, though. Oh, Ashmouth. Yeah, Ashmouth's a real one to miss. Phoenix has started playing that card. Thanks for the follow, Dual Core. By the way, good to see almost 800 people here in chat this morning. I'd wager some amount of you live in VA or New Jersey or some of the other states in the US that are holding elections today for various state and local positions. Make sure you do a Google search of what's up in your area and get out and vote today before it's done. It's very easy to fall off and not show up, especially in these off years. Yep, sorcery speed really isn't good, spell stutter. I think if we wanted to play something like that, we'd probably do Fatal Push. Actually, the 5 months Jenkins. Attack with us and see what they do. Thank you, honey. She brought me chili, chat. Because it's kind of a chilly day, and chili keeps you warm. And there's a giant pot of chili in my fridge I'd prefer not to have go to waste. So they block... I think we do this, and then we just kill this, and then this trades for the lieutenant. Think this is a good exchange for us, question mark? The humans matchup definitely feels a little tricky game one when we have all these discard spells in our deck. There's a low-key election for me today, but because of voter suppression, I can't vote at the polling place at my work, but I have to drive 15 minutes in the opposite direction of my house. Yeah. It's really dumb that you have to go to specific voting stations. It's 2021. You should be able to go vote wherever you want and have it be collected and accounted appropriately. Meathook continuing to look excellent out of the sideboard in these creature matchups. Yeah, a lot of reasonable states don't just have a single day for voting. Obviously, they'll have a cutoff still, but they won't just be a single day that you vote. Some states like Denver rolled out full vote by mail last year. Illinois did something similar too, I believe. And you know, in the before times, which is basically decades ago at this point, you know, making it easier to vote wasn't a partisan issue, right? Like, heavily Republican states like Utah exclusively vote by mail because it's safe and it's secure and it's convenient. Anytime you see anybody pushing back on the idea that voting by mail is insecure or riddled with fraud, what those people are actually telling you is the people that I like to vote for or support would be more difficult to get elected if more people could easily vote. Thanks for the over 2 years, Doug. Welcome back. You see the WotC QA debacle spoil today. I did not, Huevos. Nah, I'm not huge on Legacy. Legacy's a very blue format. I think we mulligan this. They forgot a line of text saying until end of turn, an emergency errata has already been announced. No, you can't. You can't just change the text on the cards, chat. I was told changing the text on the cards would make the game too confusing and difficult for new players to follow, and you can't do it because of paper magic. Also, for those of you that are new here, like Carbones, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. That was sarcasm. They frequently do erratas like this when they miss things, and the boomers that complain about it are idiots and boomers. This isn't the first time this has happened, and it almost assuredly won't be the last. I think we kill this, crack them for 4, And then this sets us up to just have Spawn next turn even if we don't attack. It also sets us up to be able to Meathook next turn for 2 potentially if we need to. Need to be aggressive here. Because if I just kind of sit back on defense, they're going to start pumping their stuff with Catilda. And I want to keep them under pressure. Ideally, keep them in a spot where they can't afford to Catilda every turn. We can dodge a Thalia's Lieutenant, we can dodge a ball. Skyclave's not great for us. Okay, and then the fact that they took 4 there means that my creatures dying let Hive of the Eye Tyrant be lethal in a single attack now. Which is pretty great. So they need 2 blockers back here. Did they miss it? They have another thing here. Alright, I mean, YOLO. Alright, sweet. I think they were trying to figure out why they couldn't make themselves clueless. They were clueless as to why they couldn't become clueless, chat. Their Yasharn was stopping them from cracking their clue, which is nice for us. This deck slowly clawing us back up all the rank points we spewed playing Smothering Storm to start this morning. Which, while wasn't good, was exceptionally sweet. You'll want to watch for the highlight of that on the Daily Deck Digest later this week for sure. We had a few excellent games with this deck that'll make for a great highlight video. Looks good. I'm supposed to Inquisition on one because of Thalia. It's kind of a scary one too. Well. Really solid start here for us. If we can spike an untapped land next turn, we'll be in an amazing spot. To curve right on into Rankle here. Awesome. Definitely making each of us sacrifice a creature. I don't think I want to discard. They have plenty of mana, and I kind of like my cards. There's no guarantee that I draw a land next turn to bring this back. They could theoretically hit their prison combo and lock us out here. Untapped land's a good draw here because of our Hive of the Eye Tyrant. They're dead to Rankle, making them draw a card and lose a life there. Duress seems good. Murderous Rider seems a little expensive. Yeah, 9 lives Solemnity is a prison lockout. Davriel's Withering kills almost all of their stuff, right? It's actually probably better than some of these more expensive removal spells. It misses Destiny Spinner, but like that's their least important of their things. So board in the Witherings for an efficiency standpoint. I think we lead on this to try and stop a 2-drop if they only have one good one. Definitely just taking the presence here. Sterling Grove tutors something, but it's not really that meaningful here. I can't target their enchantments once they're in play anyways. So I'm going to play these out just to kind of force the Wrath of God. It lets me play a swamp and then pump Knight of the Ebon Legion next turn using my mana. When we have Spawn as a follow-up after the fact, and now Rankle as well. Oh, Meathook beats their lock. That's a good thought. It might be right to play Rankle this turn instead of Spawn, but getting Spawn down and attacking sooner has a lot of value. Morning, Mr. Punny. We're just locked out, right? They have Grove plus Solemnity. Going to execute the strategy of being on the play for the third game. Yeah, nine lives Solemnity. Nah, I don't think Meathook's worth bringing in. I think I'd rather just kill them before they get the lock. It's one mana for Grove to search. So they'd search at end of turn and then set the lock up the following turn. Oh, that's true. Oh, no, right. Yeah, you're right. Rankle has to do damage in order to happen. That's a good call. Our lack of black mana here. Our snowlands are not for each yet. Unfortunate. We do have 20 black. Someone earlier was asking about, Phyrexian Obliterator in this deck. It's just two different cards we can't beat. I think we take the Archon. Just let him Day of Judgment and hope to draw Black Source here for the spawn. Sometimes it do be like that, chat. I'm sure every member of Twitch chat that's thinking about playing this deck is now going to make sure they have an answer to the opponent's combo in their deck post-board. That's the wrong play. Just like, their deck's not popular. Sometimes it's going to top deck you when you play against it. Just move on with your life. The couple of enchantment decks that have actually put up results inside of historic tournaments that have happened actually aren't playing the lockout combo because it's not particularly good against a lot of things in the format. Our deck kind of hits like a fairly narrow... I also don't think we're 0%. I'd bet we're 50% or better there when we play an average match of Magic and they don't immediately top deck you, like... But, you know, being 45 or 50% or whatever still means you're going to lose half the time or a little bit more than half the time. Yeah, their deck's atrocious against the food decks, which is the most popular deck in the format by a lot. He says as he queues into a food deck. Yeah, their archetype with that lockout combo is like 0% into this archetype that we're playing against. So, I only took their Goose to start because I had another discard spell. If I didn't have the other Inquisition, I would have just taken the Trail from the start, trying to nip their card advantage in the bud. Since I drew this 1-drop, I'm not going to try and pump this. I'm just going to take my damage and play my Dread Wanderer. That's actually pretty brutal. So they're gonna kill Dread Wanderer here. So Fatal Push does unfortunately mean they get to kill my Rankle next turn, which is sad, but it is what it is. Large chunk of Cat Oven players don't play Mayhem Devil anymore. All right, I'm gonna time you out for using your feels instead of reels. Just for reference, while this deck variation of the deck has started appearing on the ladder, the tournament metagame and the metagame on Untapped still has the traditional Jund Food / Oven deck as being the more popular by a good margin. So basically, stop it, get some help, don't make stuff up. I think there is a chance that this variation becomes more popular. I think we're actually going to give it a try tomorrow morning on stream. I haven't played it yet. But the idea that, like, this new variation is shiny that people are trying and just, like, it hasn't put up any results yet, and, like, the other variation's still more common on the ladder based on all the metrics and in tournaments, just like, come on. Come on. I'll fire up this Hive and start exiling cards out of their bin. Yeah, I'm not saying their deck's not good for reference. It seems very, not only sweet, but also very reasonably powerful. Just pushing back on the idea that it's become the average case, because that's just not true by the metrics. Really? Okay. Have another Fatal Push here? Sure. It's a mixture of wanting to play Duress as well as you just having enough good cards to fill out 60 cards in straight green-black now. Between Squirrel and Meathook Massacre and Shambling Gas, you just like have a reasonable deck without the extra effect. So I get to Murderous Rider the Duress here, but we're kind of behind at that point. Yeah, Meathook being a sweeper that you get to find with Trail of Crumbs is super powerful. then we kind of just get drained out from here by the cats in the ovens, right? So that 15 months, J-Rec. No, you can only cast Meathook for X is 0. This matchup actually seems pretty atrocious. I guess I have meat. I'm just gonna concede this. I'm gonna put another Meathook of our own in the sideboard. But in general, that doesn't seem like we have good tools for that matchup. Which, that could, you know, we were talking about why is this deck not been popular or played. Having an atrocious food matchup is probably bad. It wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. It just doesn't matter, Gully. I mean, we've played, what, 5 or 6 matches with this deck, and that was the first food matchup? Yeah, the fact that most typical graveyard hate doesn't really play against Cat Oven is frustrating. Would Historic be better or worse if they just deleted Eldraine from it? I mean, I think every format of Magic would probably be better if they just deleted Eldraine from it. Could play Leyline. The fact that they're one of the food variations is playing Luris now makes it a bit better against makes Leyline a bit better against it. Leyline seems decently positioned. I don't actually agree with that. I think Leyline's pretty whatever in the current format. The Phoenix deck plays a very reasonable, decent game of Magic through a Leyline. Like, it'll just cast its spells no problem against you. And I don't think Leyline is very good against the Jund food decks, which is part of the appeal of it. One of the downsides to playing that more green-black based Luris build is that you're more susceptible to graveyard hate. You love to hear it, Pino. Chilling on this Thoughtseize till they draw Luris to their hand. Actually, 15 months, J Hunter, by the way. Welcome back. Probably dead here. Yeah, Ashmouth's another card they're playing now that makes Leyline not matter, for sure. Can't block, must attack, basically the same line of text. Discard spell. think we're dead, fam. Skyclave's not very good here. Just want all our removal spells. Discard spells are decent in this matchup too, even though they're a creature matchup, because their actual threat density is quite low. There's going to be a lot of games where Inquisition or Thoughtseize just like take their only threat if we're a little bit lucky. The problem with something like Go Blank is, like, look at that last game, right? Their hand gets very empty towards the end. And if we just, like, have a removal spell for Luris, their graveyard largely doesn't matter. Really good start here for us. Being on the play confirmed good. Do you have a protection enchantment? You do. Untap land? Yikes. I think we gotta kill this and hope they don't have a lifelink enchantment next turn. So Huevos, something you're doing there that I'd like heavily incentivize Magic players from doing is they see us playing against someone playing just like a slightly different variation of a thing on the ladder, like, wow, when did this deck start doing this? And it's like, well, lots of people try lots of different things in a game like Magic, and just because this person is doing it doesn't mean it's the average case scenario or a thing. So to pointedly answer your question, when did they start doing this? They haven't. The opponent's trying something, and it looks kind of neat having more card draw in their deck, but they are definitely not the established / average case scenario for their archetype currently, based on metrics that we have from tournaments and other things. Yeah, I think I'm happy that we boarded. Let's run it back. Definitely want to discard spell, turn one on the draw, in case they only have one 2-mana threat. They have multiple 2-mana threats. I'll take the one that gets bigger when they put enchantments on it. So hoping to draw a removal spell next turn. They draw black source here, we could be in trouble. Get to go sit this into. Yeah. Good beats. Yeah, I think we could have won this game if they, like, didn't draw black right away or didn't immediately draw a third Spirit Dancer. Seeing some of the power of the splash here, right? Getting to have that extra redundancy on their things that draw cards. They don't have a way to protect these, and we draw a Davriel's Withering. We could kill both their things next turn and have a shot here still. But good chance they have a 1-mana enchantment here. Yep. And draws 2 more cards. And then from here, they've likely snowballed enough that we can no longer keep up. Being on the play is really good, is definitely a mood. So I think too, right? We lost on the draw twice there. By the way, to any of my Pokemon Unite players in the audience, we didn't see any rumblings of a balance or bug fix patch today, did we? Usually if they're doing one of those for the week, they post on Tuesday. You've not seen any? Yikes. Balance patch is whatever, but the fact that Greedent is still broken is pretty terrible. I mean, even when Memory Lapse was legal, Auras wasn't super popular. I wonder if because the season's rolling over on Friday, if we could see an end-of-week patch. Could see that being a thing. Huh? It's a bug with Greedent. If you eject button while using Covet and your Unite, you can belch 4 times a second instead of once every second. Do I leave them Harvest Hand for a turn? And just get Spawn down? It's a little bit of a gamble, but I think I want to just put Spawn into play here. Let's see if we get punished. Do they have something like a Banishing Light here? I'm getting to cantrip twice and killing our spawns a pretty big punish. Yeah, I can use my empirical evidence to state that Historic as a format is now 50+% enchantment decks. And I will ignore and reject all your evidence from tournaments and other sources that say otherwise. Because this is the internet, and it is 2021, and I'm allowed to do that. Man, our inability to draw a 4th land is also kind of rough. Kobe, thanks for the sub-gifties. Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy Election Day. In many places, go vote. They're in the tank here, so like small hope that we peel the land for this Rankle still here and get to smash in. Life's Bounty is not really that big of a deal. I'm actually kind of surprised they're doing WoW pre-orders on mobile. They lose a pretty big cut of any money that goes through their platform on mobile, which is why they cap out at $20 worth of gems. They don't want to lose the $100 worth when they give you the better ratio. Are we actually going to win this game? He says before his opponent plays 9 Lives Solemnity. Oh no. Oh no. Well, so like the problem here is 9 lives just static text comes into effect now, right? So like they're not at 3 anymore, they're at I need 9 counters on here, which gives them a ton. Well, so Rankle can't deal damage to them to cause life loss. Yeah. All right, my plan for this next game is to draw my 4th land for Rankle on time, he says, before flooding out and dying. All right. I mean, I'm scheduled to start Mass Effect at noon today, so this will definitely be our last match with this deck. My body is ready for new Magic the Gathering cards, so our Magic schedule is going to be a little bit lighter between now and set release next week. Make sure we play enough to get a daily deck digest highlight each day still. That's about it. Yeah, a bunch of 1-drops. We get to grasp this Weaver firmly. Hit them for 5, play a night. Nah, not anytime soon, Grimmelden. Alright, so they're dead through Wrath of God. The end of the Ebon Legion is lovely. Honestly, it's probably the best 1-drop on Arena. It's very good. Yeah, they can just, like, not kill our stuff, Blanc. Like, they get set up so, like, they don't take damage, and there's, like, they don't have to sweep the board once they have the lockup. So rather than having a Meathook and hoping to cheese them out like that, I'd rather just try and kill them before they get set up. Ogo, thanks for the 17 months. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Body is ready for the turn 3 sweeper. And by ready, I mean please don't. Okay. That's good for us. I feel like our board was threatening enough to sweep if they had it. They could just be being greedy and trying to bait me, but I think we jam Spawn here and just hope for the best. Oh, that's true. They didn't have untapped land. That's fine. We got to draw a card. I think it's right to push damage here because it means I have lethal next turn with Faceless Haven and Rankle, right? No, I'm still gonna be 1 short, aren't I? Yeah, I only have 8. Yeah, maybe drawing there is wrong. Thoughtseize or Duress probably our best draws here. I do think I want to push it this time because this makes Knight of the Ebon Legion a 2/3. Also gives us a chance to spike this. We take the Sterling Grove, right? So otherwise they could cast it and then fish up the 9 lives. All right, and then we're dead, right? I can put them to 1. I guess I can draw a discard spell, right? Alright, that's enough magic for today. To give a wrap on this deck, it seems fine. I think we won slightly more than we lost. Unsurprisingly, our black-based aggressive deck seems very bad against enchantment decks that are very good at top decking after you display a discard spell. And by that, I mean we ran ice cold while they ran well, and we won matchups that felt close if our opponents had just, like, missed at all ever. But it's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I don't think I'd change anything. I think other than getting the third Meathook Massacre into the sideboard, this seemed pretty good. Our deck felt good into control decks like Niv, and it felt decent into other aggressive decks like humans. And I think that you're probably just a bit of a dog against things like food and enchantments, but those decks aren't a reason to not play it. I do also think you can still win those matchups sometimes. I think, like I said, the enchantment matchups that we played, we got pretty unfortunate with a little bit better beats. We easily win 1, 2, or even all of them. How's the Izzet matchup? Your Phoenix matchup's fine. Your combination of discard spells to break up their ability to bring their Phoenixes back consistently, along with a very quick clock, works out pretty reasonably there. And then you get things like Davriel's Withering and go blank post board to interact with their stuff. Fight their graveyard things. This permanently kills a Phoenix, so to speak.